From the East Tennessee Weather Center, here's your morning weather update with meteorologist Mike Witcher.
And good morning. Happy Saturday, everybody. We do have a dense fog advisory to get the day started across the Northern Plateau, Northern Valley, and Upper East Tennessee. Plus, we're talking about some major changes in the Gulf of Mexico. So if you are a fall breaker that's getting ready to head down to the coastal areas, especially Florida, you want to pay attention to this forecast. I'll walk you through all the latest details on that coming up here in just a moment. First things first, there's that dense fog advisory that runs until 10 o'clock in the morning. So we have had some dense fog around the area this morning, and that's going to be the story. Now it will burn off as we get closer to 10, 11, and noon, and that's going to leave us with plenty of sunshine. Another warm day as the cold front approaches on Sunday, and then cool high pressure dominates as we get into next week. So any fall break staycationers, the weather is going to be absolutely beautiful, but as I mentioned, any fall breakers heading down to Florida, you'll want to pay attention to this forecast. So we start the morning off with dense fog and temps in the 60s. We'll climb into the mid-70s as we get into the lunch hour, and a beautiful afternoon with forecast high temps, again, trending above average for this time of the year. We're going to be in the low to mid-80s. And as we head into the evening hours, it should make for a nice Saturday night. 80 degrees by 6, and as we get into the 8 o'clock hour, we'll be down into the mid-70s. So a great evening for a watch party for the Vols game here later on tonight. Of course, kickoff is at 7:30. Now, as we progress our weekend forecast all the way through our Sunday, picking up our timeline Saturday night through Sunday morning, here comes our next frontal boundary. Now, as we get into the Sunday afternoon and evening, nothing. Sunday's going to be just great. And really, this whole week is going to be great. But watch this. This cold front's going to slide through right around midnight to about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. That may produce a little bit of light rain across Upper East Tennessee, and that is it. As high pressure builds its way on in, as we get into our Monday morning, the air will start to dry on out, and that's what's going to give us that perfect fall feeling as we get into next week. Dew points will stay in the 60s, so not only your temps are going to be in the 80s, but dew points in the 60s this weekend. So that's going to make for a nice warm feeling for the weekend for sure. But then look at these dew point numbers as we get into next week. We're talking dew points in the 40s and 50s. And so that does a couple of things, and that's going to bring us that really fall fresh feeling. High pressure, cool high pressure builds in all next week. And so again, dew points are going to be in the 30s, 40s, and 50s across much of the southeastern U.S., which also allows our low temperatures to come down into the 40s and 50s. It's going to feel amazing. Pull out the sweatshirts and the sweaters. You're definitely going to need that. And as we look over the next 7 days from the Climate Weather Prediction Center, no rainfall really expected across the area. Like I said, just a little bit of light rain possible across Upper East Tennessee Sunday night into Monday morning. So the big goose egg across the 7-day stretch with your rain chances. No rain is on the way for us. And that trend may actually continue all the way through the 15th and maybe stretching all the way to the 19th. So October is a dry month. Not great news because we still have a drought across the central southern valley. That's likely to start to creep back into the area, and we don't need that during fire season. This is the month that fire season really starts to pick up. So average high for this time of year is in the mid-70s, generally speaking. We're going to be in the low to mid-80s as we head through the day today and tomorrow. Upper 70s, still a little bit on the warm side on Monday, but falling temperatures, and we'll be below average, climbing back to those seasonal averages by the end of next week. So really nice, solid weather pattern is on the way. All right, let's talk about the tropics for a second. Thanks for sticking with me. If you are heading down to the Gulf of Mexico, the National Hurricane Center quickly ramped this up. We now have a 50% chance over the next 2 days and an 80% chance over the next 7 days of a cluster of thunderstorms becoming a tropical system. So let's go ahead and walk you through that forecast here. There's the low pressure system right there. Pick up our timeline on Saturday evening, this evening anyways, and watch as this low pressure system continues to work its way through the Gulf of Mexico and strengthen because we've got a lot of energy. We don't have a lot of shear in the atmosphere. And there's the storm system we're talking about. Watch this. There's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Sometime on Wednesday, it looks like, based on the latest model guidance, between, I would just say somewhere along the western coast of Florida, we could be dealing with some sort of a tropical system, whether it's a hurricane or a tropical storm, TBD on that. It's going to race its way through Florida, so anybody heading over to Daytona, Jacksonville, Tampa, Orlando, Palm Bay, West Palm Beach, anybody heading off to Florida, you need to pay attention to this for sure. So when we look at our rainfall totals with this, despite what it actually is going to be as a tropical system or a hurricane, We are talking about incredible amounts of rain. So again, folks heading off to Orlando, I've been talking to a lot of folks on social media, and they've been asking about this. Listen, National Hurricane Center had a 40% chance just yesterday. They ramped that up very quickly. So again, something to keep in mind if you are heading off to Florida. And the best timing on that is going to be probably around Wednesday timeframe. But conditions will continue to go downhill Monday through Wednesday. All right, so here's your 7-day forecast. We're going to see those temperatures climb into the 80s all weekend long for all locations around town. And then we're going to be in the 60s and 70s for the rest of the week. And believe it or not, this kind of weather pattern may stick with us. So as we look ahead, we're talking about average weather here in East Tennessee over the next 6 to 10 days. But the 8 to 14 day outlook by the Climate Prediction Center still has us around average, but notice above average weather is expected off across Middle and West Tennessee. So stay on top of the weather forecast. If you are heading off on vacation and you are going down to the Gulf of Mexico, make sure that you stay on top of the weather situation. And an easy way to do that is the East Tennessee Weather app. It's your one-stop shop for weather right here in East Tennessee. It goes everywhere you go. Plus, it gives you everything that you need to know for weather, not just here in East Tennessee, but also if you are heading down to the Gulf of Mexico. So something to kind of keep in mind when you open up the app, this is what you're going to see. What I want you to do before you head off on fall break is come up here to the very top and make sure you add your location. So let's come up here. You go current conditions. You add a location right there. Let's type in Tampa, Florida. There's Tampa, Florida. You add that to your list. Make sure you enable all of your alerts, save it, then go back. Now what you do is now you'll get notification with any impending weather coming to Florida. You can go scroll at the top of the screen, and that will take you and the map below it to the location that you're headed to. So we type in Florida. We typed in Miami before. We've typed in St. Augustine, but there is Tampa, Florida. The 7-day forecast is there, and your interactive radar is there as well. So it's a great one-stop shop for weather right here in East Tennessee. It keeps you up to date on everything that's going on your vacation. Plus, when you get ready to come back home, check in on those daily forecast weather updates, and I'll keep you posted on how the weather is playing out here in East Tennessee. All right, do travel safely. If you have any questions, fire away on social media. I'll try to answer as many questions as I possibly can. Another side note, I'm going to be broadcasting live today at noon, so join in on the East Tennessee weather platforms. I'm going to be at Carson Newman College, the football stadium there. We're going to be broadcasting on the football field with my friends from Farm Bureau. So come say hi to us. We're going to be giving out about 700 T-shirts throughout the day today. I'm going to be broadcasting live, so I'd love to say hi. All right, your next weather update. Again, live weather update at noon today, so we'll keep you posted.